Hey guys, it's me, it's Queen auset-heru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. And if you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, pass it on to somebody else who might like it too, and don't forget to leave us a positive comment in the comment section. And underneath this video is all my information, so if you would like to get a reading done or anything else, everything is underneath here. All right, so let's answer today's question. I was in the chat room and this woman said to me, this was her quote. She said, "Everyone is miserable. That's just how life is." So she was talking about how her life is really, sad and pathetic and messed up. I told her that if your life is like that, you need to do something about it. Take responsibility and accountability and find a therapist, find a support group. Do something about it was my bottom line. Because I found that a lot of people who have messed up lives don't do anything about it. So I said, do something about it. And she said that response to me. And I want to say two things in response to that. Number one, everybody's life isn't miserable. It may seem like that because miserable people are the loudest. But I know a lot of people who are chilling. I know people who are living, they're working their careers. Some of them have started businesses. People who are traveling, living in different parts of the world. I know a lot of people who aren't miserable. I know a lot of people who are really happy with the choices that they've made for themselves. So don't get it twisted that everybody's miserable, everybody's fucked up, everybody's life is, screwed up, because that's really not the case. A lot of people are happy, but the people that are the loudest are the people who are the most unhappy. And number two, even if that was true, even if the whole world was miserable, you don't have to be. So just because everybody else and your perception is screwed up, that means that it's okay for you to be screwed up too? Nah. If everybody else in the whole world was screwed up, it still is not an excuse, there's that word again, to sit on your behind and not do something to clean up your own life. We're all responsible for our own life. And when our life is over and we come to that judgment day or whatever it is, whatever you personally believe, God, Goddess, the angels, they're not going to ask you, well, was everybody else miserable too? They're going to ask you about you. What did you do? What did you read? What did you decide? They're going to ask you about your choices. They're not going to ask you about everybody around you. So my thing is that even if everybody is miserable, you don't have to be. Thirdly, if everybody you know is miserable, you hanging in the wrong crowd. So you need to sit and think, why am I hanging around all these miserable ass people? Why am I keeping company with all these miserable people? And why don't I get myself together and go find some happy people? So I just wanted to put that out there because I hear a lot of people say things like that. It's like, what's the point? What's the use? Everybody's fucked up. Everything's messed up. Everything is awful. And that's not true. It's not true at all. There are lots of people making great choices and they're happy with the choices that they make. And when you're not happy with yourself, you have a tendency to see it through that skewed lens. But even if that is the case, it will behoove you to get off your ass and change things. There's a line in a movie. The movie is called Vanilla Sky. And I never forgot. I don't always remember the line, but I never forget the energy of it. Because basically what he said is every second that you're alive is a chance to turn everything around. I think that might be exactly how he said it, but it was something like that. So every second that you're breathing, you can make a decision to have a better life. You can make a decision to do better. You can make the decision to get healthier. You can make the decision to heal yourself. Every second you're alive, you're the one who's choosing to stay in misery or work your way out of misery. You're the one who's choosing to be in poverty or to work your way out of poverty. You're the one that's making these decisions. And a lot of times it starts with just believing that it is. If you believe that you can change things, then 9 times out of 10, you will change things. If you believe that it's no use because everybody's miserable, then 9 times out of 10, in 10, 15, 20 years, you're still going to be singing the same old tune. You just have to work on your mindset. And a lot of times, especially if you have some mental health issues like depression or bipolar disorder or something like that, a lot of times you might need some help with your mindset. But either way, staying that way and blaming it on everybody else is not smart. So if you're in that situation, it will behoove you to change it. Now we're going to take a read on 2 of my favorite comments. One came from J.K. Humble. J.K. said, "Can I please say that I'm a Scorpio and I do this 100% of the time. Scorpios are very observant as well." Yeah, she's talking about how people, Aquarius and Scorpio, will fall back, observe people's energy before we decide to mess with them or not. And that is true. Scorpios are like that. My daughter is a Scorpio, and she's observant like that sometimes. Sometimes she's off into her own little la-la land. But when she does pay attention, she's spot on. I'll be like, "What do you think about this?" And she'll think, and she'll feel, and she'll get it exactly. But yeah, you're right about that. Scorpios are like that. Barbara Ross. Hey, Barbara. Barbara said, "Queen, you telling all my secrets. I do this all the time. When I meet anyone or my surroundings, I watch. Eventually, everyone tells on themselves without me saying anything to them." This is true too. People do tell on themselves. You don't really have to say anything. You're right. People through their actions, through what they say, through what they don't say. If you shut up and just fall back and observe somebody, everything about their body language and their conversation will tell you everything you need to know. Trust me. Okay? All right, guys, it's time for me to get going. So come back soon because I got a lot more to say. See you later.